Good afternoon again. This is Dennis Jones. I'm the CEMA Director, and we're coming to you live from the Emergency Operations Center in Chatham County. All right, the Emergency Operations Center is a center where we get a lot of people together to come and manage the coordinated response to an emergency or disaster event. With me, I've got Don Sullins. He is coordinating the Emergency Operations Center for today. Don, tell us a little bit about your function.
Hey, Dennis, I'd like to. What my job is in here is really easy. I'm working with a bunch of good folks who know what they're doing, and I let them do their job. And basically, I'm kind of a fixer. If they run into issues, difficulties, eventually they come to me, and I try to work with them to find a solution to our problems.
And Don's doing a great job. We also have a variety of different disciplines in here, and with me we have Assistant County Manager Linda Kramer, and it's important to have the executives here as well, just so they're engaged. Linda, tell us a little bit about what you're doing here in the EOC.
Sure, I'm glad to. What we're doing here in the EOC is short answer, just helping out, providing resources where needed. The county manager's office is responsible for the administrative functions of Chatham County and some of the operational functions. So we're here to just coordinate that, make sure everything runs smoothly, lend resources where we can, and in planning and recovery. So that's why we're here.
Great. Thank you, Linda. Sorry about that. And we also have some federal partners with us today. We've got Kim Kradish. He's from FEMA, and he's been with us for a few days now, right? And if you will, Kim, just tell us a little bit about what you're doing here with us.
Okay, well, I came down on Friday in advance of the declaration when President Trump signed the declaration, authorized response from the federal level to the state of Georgia for emergency measures. And I'm a representative to our agency reps up in Atlanta as a advance party down here to provide some insight into things I see and potential requests that might come from the county up to the state, and just to give some advance warning to our team. And I'll just say that I've been impressed since I've been here with the work that the county emergency management and municipalities have done in preparation. Very little need right now for federal assistance, but we're ready to provide it when we do. But I do applaud the work that you've done so far.
All right. Thank you, Kim. So as you look around the EOC, you'll see there's probably about 60 people in here, and actually there's another 60 that are off shift. So we do have people that are sleeping in the day, because they'll come in sometime tonight and they'll take the nighttime shift. So we do have quite a few people that are working in the EOC, and we're making sure that we're watching out for the community. We're watching out for all the damages that could possibly impact the community, and we're making sure that we're keeping everybody as safe as possible. All right, we're going to take a few questions now.
Okay, so this is a question we had earlier, but if you could just reiterate, is there a curfew for tonight?
Okay, regarding the curfew, we did have a curfew last night. The command policy group will come together today at about 5 o'clock, and we'll talk again about the curfew. We want to see what the damages are from the storm. We want to see if there's any areas that even need the curfew. But we're also going to take a look at the power outages throughout our community. So we want to take a look at all of that, have the most latest and greatest information for our command policy group before they make a decision about the curfew.
Can you address if the water is safe to drink or use?
Water throughout the community, as many of you know, the water systems were not turned off. If Mother Nature did happen to have some type of negative impact to a water system, I think it'll be evident to you. If it smells funny or if it tastes funny, don't drink it, boil it. But I think for the most part, we have not heard of any negative impacts to the water systems, and as of right now, everything seems to be operational. But again, if for some reason it smells funny or it looks funny, don't drink it.
Could you give us some information on current roadblocks and closures?
Yeah, we are tracking all of our roadblocks throughout the community. You can find that information online. It's at chathamcounty.org/road-blocks.
What about the expected process for reentry?
Well, reentry is another thing that we're going to take a look at simultaneous with the curfew. We need to see what damages are out there. We need to see what areas are accessible or inaccessible. And we want to make sure that everybody is safe. So we will take a look at that as soon as the wind stops blowing considerably. We'll give information to the command policy group. We'll have them make decisions on reentry checkpoints. We'll have them make decisions on a curfew. And we'll communicate that information out to the general public.
So what kind of notifications have you received regarding flooding or storm surge in Chatham County?
We have received quite a bit of flooding in Chatham County. This was a king tide. So with that king tide and the storm surge plus the heavy amount of rain that came in, there is considerable flooding, especially on the east side. So there are other pockets on the west side that have received flooding from the storm. So again, we got to take a look at all of the areas that have had damage and make sure that it's safe for people to return.
Have you heard anything about looting in Chatham County?
We haven't heard too much about looting. Our public safety officers have really been patrolling well, even during some areas of when the storm was the highest. They were out. They were looking around. They were making sure that your homes and your properties were safe. So for the most part, I think there's probably been one or two where they've had to stop and question people. But for the most part, the looting has been very, very low, if any.
So can you talk about the greatest threat? Is that now? Has it passed? Is it later?
I think the most of the threat from the tropical storm or the hurricane has pretty much passed us by. We may have some more showers come in. We may have a few more bands of rain come by, but we're expecting all of the storm conditions to be out of here by 5 o'clock.
Now, we just saw that the tornado watch was extended to 10 p.m. What exactly does that mean for us here?
A tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for a tornado. It doesn't mean that a tornado is on the ground. It just means that the atmospheric conditions are favorable that a tornado could happen.
Okay, so I guess the next question, what are some road hazards to be aware of? You talked a little bit about flooding. What should we be aware of?
If you are traveling around on the roads, don't drive through flooded roadways. Turn around, don't drown. Also watch for down power lines. You don't want to cross a down power line. Of course, trees. There could be some potholes that have been washed out. So just be very, very cautious as you're driving around the community. Make sure that you know your surroundings. If you see something that looks kind of out of place, just avoid it.
Can you tell us about power outages and what the plan is for that? Have you been in contact with Georgia Power?
We have quite a few power outages throughout Chatham County. I think the latest count was 66,000, I believe. Georgia Power is ready. They have crews here. They'll start restoring power as soon as their policies allow them to get back into the area. It's all based on wind speed. When the winds down below a certain level, they'll get back in here and start restoring power as quickly as possible.
Okay, so we've got a lot of people asking about statuses. Skidaway Road, Wellington Island. Do you have access to any of that information right now?
Yeah, damage reports are coming in. Again, there's a lot of flooding out there, so we are tracking that through the Emergency Operations Center. We're compiling all of that information, and we'll have a complete report for our command policy group at 5 o'clock so they can make informed decisions about curfew and reentry.
Okay, what about Jose? Are we watching that thread? Is CEMA watching that thread?
Yes, we're watching Jose. Jose's right on the heels of Irma, so it's out there in the Atlantic. It's circling around, and right now it's anticipated to remain an Atlantic storm, but we'll keep watching it to make sure that if it does happen to come our direction, we'll be ready.
One of the last questions we have, what do individuals in critical workforce need to re-enter?
Well, critical workforce are pretty much already here. They don't really need anything to re-enter. Most of the critical workforce that are in Chatham County are government workers, police, fire, EMS, or they work for municipal or county government, so they already have an ID. So they don't need any special pass in order to get in.
All right, I think that's all we've got. Thank you.
Okay, that's all the questions. Thank you very much. This is Dennis Jones, live from the Emergency Operations Center in Chatham County.